don't know what you take away. And you want to put a price? You want to put a price? There's no price. There's no price. There's no price. And we will get justice.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you all having a blessed day today. Today's video, we're going to look at 5 incidents that took place in the United States of America where Jamaicans lost their life under violent and tragic circumstances. We Jamaicans always bash our country about the current crime situation, as we should, but trust me, this epidemic is not specific to Jamaica. It's a worldwide phenomenon that's taking place. Which leads us to our first incident involving a Jamaican by the name of Peter Bernardo Spencer. Peter was 29 years old at the time of this incident. Peter migrated from Jamaica at the age of 16 to live with family in Pennsylvania. The incident which took Peter's life happened on December 11, 2021 at a remote cabin along the Allegheny River in Venango County in the state of Pennsylvania. The circumstances surrounding Peter's death is very spooky, and as we Jamaican always say, something doesn't sound right, because it is said that Peter, along with 4 other persons, which is 3 men and 1 female, they are all white people. Peter is the only black person there. It is said that they went up by the cabin just to chill and have a good time. It said while at the cabin, Peter, who was in possession of an AK-47 rifle, started to behave erratic and pointing the firearm at his so-called friends, during which one of the persons take a firearm and shot Peter and kill him. Remember, they are all friends. This is not a case where Peter trespassed on a property and person see him and take his life. No, they all went to the camp to have a good time when this incident took place. He's not of unsound mind, but as you know, them they are party, so so little consumption of alcohol go on and maybe 2 little thing are burn. So that's just about it. There wasn't an argument before. They said he just took up the firearm, pointed at one of them, and they fear for their life, and they shot him and killed him.
Of Peter Spencer and calling for justice. Peter Spencer was a black man from Pittsburgh who was an immigrant from Jamaica, killed in Venango County more than 2 months ago. He was shot 9 times. His family believes this killing was racially motivated. While there is a suspect, no one has been arrested or charged. In an emotional moment, his father spoke to the crowd.
You don't know what you take away. And you want to put a price? You want to put a price? There's no price. There's no price. There's no price. And we will get justice.
Had to track down property assessment records in order to even find the remote hunting cabin just along I-80 along the Allegheny River Trail where Spencer was gunned down in the presence of 4 white men.
It is a case that still has not resulted in even 1 arrest, now 6 weeks after it happened. Here's Paul's report from Venango County.
In this idyllic setting right on the Allegheny River and just off of a bike trail is the hunting camp where police say Peter Spencer was shot to death. Authorities say his body was found in the front yard with multiple gunshot wounds. Family members say Peter Spencer was invited to the camp by a friend who he met at a previous job. A Spencer family attorney says he's not surprised that Peter would have accepted an invitation, even though family members say he was the only black man at the camp.
He was an outdoorsman and he loved nature. He loved being in nature. He loved being among the animals in nature. So this is something that he would regularly do. It's exactly why he would have been out there.
A 25-year-old white man they called a suspect, but all 4 were released from custody. No charges have been filed. Action News Investigates has learned there could be video of his shooting. A sign on the front door says, "You're on camera, look up." referring to a surveillance camera in the second floor window. Now, it's possible that any video from that camera could be very useful to police. Also mysterious, this sign on the door of an adjacent garage saying, "We don't call 911," alongside an image of a gun. If police have not filed any criminal charges in the case. Property records show the hunting camp is owned by the family of Nathan Meyer. Spencer's family says Meyer is the friend who invited Peter Spencer to the camp. Action News Investigates went to Meyer's family home in Mercer and spoke briefly with his grandmother. She declined to do an interview, but said she would give our contact information to Nathan. He never responded.
The second incident involving a dancehall artist and songwriter by the name of Assailant. He's a former member of the Bounty Killer-led Alliance music group. He was shot and killed in Los Angeles over the Independence weekend. Assailant is from the parish of Clarendon in Jamaica. His real name is Omar Thompson, and he was gunned down at the age of 37. It is said that Assailant was leaving a house party in Encino neighborhood of Los Angeles when the incident took place.
Search is on for a suspect in Encino after a deadly shooting.
It all happened late last night near a house party. CBS 2's Jake Reiner is live in Encino, and only on 2, Jake, you got new security camera video and spoke to a man who jumped into action to try to save the victim.
That's exactly right, and we'll show you both of those to you in just a moment. But speaking of that house where the party was, I'll step out of the way so you can take a look. Neighbors have been coming up to us in this neighborhood on Grimes Place all day long telling us that this house has a lot of parties at it, and they have been complaining about it for quite some time.
It's the 4th of July weekend, so you'll often ignore loud bangs because...
And I assumed that it was fireworks.
That neighbor we spoke with wished to remain off camera, citing safety concerns. What she actually heard were multiple gunshots. Another neighbor's security footage doesn't show much. You can see a line of cars leaving, coming from what neighbors say was a nearby house party at this large home on the 4500 block of Grimes Place in Encino.
Didn't look like our kind of a crowd, just a lot of, dangerous people.
Elijah Safahi, who lives on this street, was at the party but received a call from his mom saying someone had been shot.
This is right where it happened right here.
Studying to be an X-ray technician at Kaiser Permanente, Safahi says he had recently taken a CPR training class. He called 911, then jumped into action.
I had that adrenaline rush in me.
When you approached him, could you see any signs of life?
Actually, I saw his eyes open up a little bit. His pupils were dilated, so I thought for a second I was doing a pretty good job. I was doing chest compressions nonstop and giving him CPR and just trying to do what I can.
Safahi says he continued chest compressions until LAPD and LAFD arrived. Paramedics pronounced the 37-year-old man dead at the scene.
This third incident is just tragic because this proved my point that anywhere you are, anything can happen to you. Because a young man by the name of Stefan Stewart is 24 years old. He had just migrated to the United States 3 months ago, and whilst at a Bronx donut shop, it is said that a young female and Stephen was in the line in Dunkin' Donut, and the female complained that Stephen is too close to her. She then left, get her boyfriend. Upon Stephen leaving the donut shop, he was shot and killed by the girl's boyfriend. And just like that, Stephen losing life to be too close to somebody in a line. It is said the whole incident was caught on camera. Sometimes it really doesn't matter where you're located. Something just happens sometimes where you cannot give a proper explanation for. Because basically this youth lose his life for no reason at all. This is just a sad situation for Stephen. However, the female was caught along with the young man, and they are both charged for the loss of life of Stephen.
The NYPD says the argument inside a Bronx Dunkin' Donuts spilled out into the street. And sources tell us a female customer accused the 26-year-old victim of getting too close, and that is when she called her boyfriend for help. CBS 2's Corey James tells us what police say happened next.
Balloons and candles were placed in front of 26-year-old Stefan Stewart's home. His family and friends who did not want their faces shown stood on the stoop and sidewalk mourning the loss, trying to understand why anyone would shoot their loved one, originally from Jamaica, who moved to the Bronx just 3 months ago.
I'm surprised somebody would just hurt him like that over nothing.
Stewart's aunt says her nephew was at this Dunkin' Donuts near Gun Hill Road and Holland Avenue in the Bronx. She says a witness told the family that a woman standing in line accused Stewart of being too close to her. Police say that woman then called her boyfriend, who then followed Stewart. Officers say they exchanged words before the suspect shot him about 2 blocks away.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
This neighbor says violence in this area happens often.
So I don't really feel safe, especially at night. During the day, yeah, taking the kids to school and bringing them back home, but not at night. And I'm surprised this happened during the day, so like now, I'm confused.
Stewart leaves behind his mother and 2 sisters who are in Jamaica, a family heartbroken over a sudden and senseless loss.
And police say that there is video inside the store that shows the woman and the victim had no physical contact. That video has not been released at this hour.
This next incident involving a man by the name of Kevin Johnson. It is said he's 37 years old and he's a nightclub operator. The incident reported that Kevin was in his vehicle when he was approached by men who were armed with firearms, who shot him multiple times over his body. Kevin was killed on the spot. They said Kevin left behind 7 kids, and it's bad mind and grudgefulness is the cause of Kevin's death. So as you can see, it's not just Jamaica alone. These things happening right across the world. Not even just in America, but also in Canada and England. But through the media is not publicizing it. That's the reason why we don't know of certain incidents that took place in these countries.
Gianna, well, 37-year-old Kevin Johnson was found dead in his car at his apartment complex around 3:45 this morning. His family tells us that he leaves behind 7 children. His family also says that he was a great dad and a friend to many. Now, Johnson was a nightclub promoter, and his family says he was the owner of the company Million Links Promotions. Investigators say he was shot and killed inside of his car, and this was at the Fairway Vista complex. Police received multiple 911 calls of shots being fired at the apartment complex, and he was dead by the time officers arrived. Right now, there is no suspect information in this case, and West Palm Beach police say that if you have any information, you are urged to give them a call.
And lastly but not least, this incident involving 3 persons, 1 male, 2 female. The incident took place in a home located at Queens, New York. It is said that a man by the name of Travis Blake, who had a relationship with one of the victims, went to the house located in Queens, New York, where he committed this heinous act by taking these 3 individual lives. These 3 individuals are from Jamaica, and Travis is also from Jamaica. The names of the person involved are 1. Varshana Brittany Malcolm. They said she's a 22-year-old just visiting their family friend from Jamaica when this incident happened. So you can imagine the female just coming from Jamaica just to stay with a family friend when this man take the girl life. So basically she's just at the wrong place at the wrong time, because this whole incident have nothing to do with her. The other victims are 55 years old Carleen Barnett and her 35 years old son Dervan Brightly. Their bodies was found in the basement of the house. It is said that Carleen Barnett and the young man Travis Blake had an intimate relationship. The relationship went bad when Travis Blake committed this act.
Tonight, police say 3 people were found dead inside of this Queens home, and they believe their bodies may have been there for days.
It's scary.
Zamana Sam has been living in this Queens community for 5 years. He sells plants to people in the neighborhood.
Lady once last year came into my, my plants, and she buys.
He and many in the neighborhood were shocked when they heard 3 people were found dead in this home on 155th Street in South Jamaica.
In front of my house, the 3 people killed. It's really, really scary for the Neighborhood.
Police say they responded to the home after receiving a 911 call Friday afternoon. When they arrived, they found a 22-year-old woman dead on a bed in a second-floor bedroom. Investigators say her hands were bound together and her mouth was covered with tape.
This is scary, you know, like, that's sad that it happened right there. 3 people in a house, that's crazy.
And the bloody scene didn't end there. Detectives say in the basement of the home they found 2 other people dead. A man in his 30s with injuries to his head and a 55-year-old woman with stab wounds to her head and neck. They believe all 3 victims were relatives.
Nice family.
As police try to find out who committed these gruesome murders and why, families tell Pix 11.
I did this video to highlight that violence is not just happening in Jamaica. As I said before, it's a worldwide phenomenon that's currently going on. So basically nowhere is safe. America is no more safer than Jamaica. The only thing is they have a better and a more robust justice system. So however, if a crime is committed, you're more likely to be caught in America. Not in all cases will be caught because there's a lot of wanted men still roaming in America. But the system is far better, far superior than Jamaica's system. So it's more likely to get justice when certain things happen. And the people in America is also more willing to assist the police with the investigation. Because they have a trust, they have more trust for their police than we Jamaicans have for us. So in conclusion, all I have to say is that we Jamaicans, we have to come together and fix our island, because if we don't, no one else will do. And if you like this content, please leave a comment in the comment section, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share this content. See you in the next video, and like I always said, remember to hug your loved ones.